these dollars are turned over to the central banks for the local currency, which is what local suppliers want, and the central banks have a problem. What do we do with all of these dollars that are floating in? And central banks don't buy control of corporations. They don't buy private sector stocks and bonds because they're risky. Central banks buy U.S. Treasury bills. So all the money that is spent on the balance of payments deficit on military accounts, American investors buying out Chinese stocks and Chinese companies, these dollars are all spent on U.S. Treasury bonds to fund the balance of payments deficit, but also at the same time to fund the domestic budget deficit. So the larger the U.S. balance of payments deficit is, the more it spends militarily and politically around the world, the more foreign central banks end up financing the domestic budget deficit, so that the United States Treasury doesn't have to borrow from U.S. Investors. It doesn't have to create money itself. More and more of the U.S. Domestic debt has been held by foreign central banks. Well, that means that foreign countries are in effect financing the costs of surrounding them with all of the military bases, enabling the United States to make military threats to back up in case you fail to follow the University of Chicago and IMF financialization programs. They cannot conquer you intellectually. They will use the military lever to convince you to follow the IMF. So the question is, how do China, Russia, Iran, and other countries break free of dollarization, of this circular flow that is self-financing American military spending by forcing the costs onto dollar holders? Well, the answer, obviously, is not to use the dollar. In other